Hey everyone, we're TowawayCouple. I'm Tom, the driver.
And I'm Bunny, the sandwich maker.
Sandwich maker. We wanted to take 2 seconds to thank you for watching our videos and giving thumbs up and making comments and suggestions and giving your opinion. These videos are our opinions, and we always advise that you get other people's opinions on different topics.
Right, so definitely do your own research and make sure that everything that you're doing is completely legal.
Yes. We would love to ask you to take this second to pause this video, click subscribe on your screen right now, and more importantly, if you want to see future videos, click the little gray bell for the notifications and you'll be notified of any upcoming video.
Yes, so please subscribe today.
Hey everyone, we're TowawayCouple. I'm Tom, the driver.
And I'm Bunny, and I'm the purchasing agent.
The purchasing agent.
Yep, Tom puts it in the Amazon cart and I buy it.
We do that. I'll be going through Amazon and I'll be like, oh, I like this. I'll put it in the cart. And then when she's in Amazon, when she goes to check out, she can either accidentally buy my stuff or she knows to buy my stuff. Like our filters.
Accidentally buy her stuff.
So, with a lot of stuff we've been seeing on Facebook with breakdowns and stuff like that, we just did a breakdown video, so this is kind of a follow-up video to that one, so we'll put that one up first.
Okay.
So, this is stuff we think you should have in your truck above and beyond what's required by the company.
Yes, because you're definitely going to need it at some time or the other.
Exactly. So, and we're going to go off top of our head. So if we miss stuff, put it in the comments below, because we don't script this stuff. We just push a button and we start recording.
And I'm gonna start.
You're gonna start?
I'm gonna start because we had them in the truck. We had a breakdown. We broke down the other day.
What do we have?
We had the little fuel filter issue. When we pulled out from the apartment and our truck just died.
Oh, yeah.
And we have them in our truck, and we needed them because it was dark, but we have safety vests, and we forgot to put them on.
Yeah, because we just replaced our fuel filters on our 2022 Ram. Luckily, I didn't have them done somewhere else and didn't have the tools. I had all the tools that I needed. I had the inch and an eighth socket. I had the extensions, the swivels, and the ratchets. If I didn't have that, I would have been screwed. Mm-hmm. Let's just put it that way. Screwed beyond screwed beyond screwed. So if you have stuff you change out constantly, fuel filters, oil filter, make sure you personally, whether you have it done at a shop or someone else, make sure you know how to do it and make sure you have all the tools on hand. But like Bunny said, we were broke down on the bridge going over the 80. We could look over to our right and see Dan's hitch.
Yes.
If that tells you exactly where we were. And I had my triangles out. Mm-hmm. That's a required thing. So yes. I had my triangles out, hazards on, and I had just changed my fuel filters the day before, and we ran the truck for 20 minutes. I didn't drive it anywhere. I just idled it. And we didn't look down. No fuel on the ground. We're like, oh, good to go. When we leave our apartment, we idle out to Costopolis, and then when we make a right to go to our DAC or to a yard, we start accelerating. Well, that's when I had an issue. All of a sudden, my check engine light came on, my engine dies, and I'm almost to the top of the bridge. And I thought, oh, dear God. And it says, your exhaust system needs service. Take it to the dealership. And I'm like,
there's no way to take it to the dealership.
Well, I could have towed it, but I'm thinking, what was the last thing we did to the truck? Mm-hmm. And this could be any mechanic, too.
Yes, because we've had that one happen, too, where they haven't gotten the fuel filter on all the way.
Right. So this could be any mechanic. It could be you. It could be anyone. It's just, so when you put these, the cap for the fuel filter in the engine compartment on a Dodge, it doesn't just spin down and you just tighten it. You got to rank and rank and rank, and it's so tight, and it has an O-ring on it. And apparently we got it down to the O-ring, when I got up there, there's fuel on the ground. So when I accelerated, the fuel pump pushed the oil or the fuel right through the O-ring. So I got up there and I turned it an eighth of a turn, not even a quarter turn, just an eighth. And then I primed my fuel pump, and then all of a sudden I started up and we were able to go.
Right.
Mind you, I crapped my pants for 2,000 miles because
we were going to California.
I want to make sure. And every time I stopped, I looked under, and sure enough, I didn't think about it when I stopped. And I'm like, did I stop over fresh oil or did I leak that? So, yeah. All right. So, first thing to have. We didn't set the clock.
No.
So we'll talk fast. What time is it? I'm sorry. We're trying to keep our videos down. So we have 5 minutes left. Okay. So with that, make sure you have all that. I always carry an extra set of fuel filters. Why? Everyone says, why change mine every 10,000, 15,000 miles? That's fine and dandy. But we've heard more times where someone got just dirty, bad fuel at a truck stop, clogged their fuel filter, and they changed it a couple thousand miles ago, and the only problem was switching out the fuel filter.
Or if you're running in the cold and you gel up.
If you gel up, you need to switch out your fuel filters to get that fuel going again. But yeah, so I carry an extra set of fuel filters. That's actually why I carry all my tools too.
Your meter. Had we not had the meter, we would not have been able to turn off that code.
Yeah, so I actually have a code reader, and that allows me to reset the check engine light, because the last thing you want to do is go through a scale, get pulled in for a level 1. You can't have any of those dash lights on. So if I have a grid heater out on my other Ram, it's a $1,500 or $1,800 replaceable part, but it only works when it's under 60 degrees. Before that, it doesn't work. So in the wintertime, my check engine light will come on. I know it's the grid heater. I know it's not going to cause any issues. I check the code. I do verify it, but then I reset the code. But I got that meter because when I come up to weigh stations, if that check engine light's on, I'll pull over, reset it, and then go through the weigh station. So just being prepared.
Yes.
What else? Tow straps.
Tow straps.
So we recommend having a tow strap, a long, heavy duty tow strap, because if you're stuck in the mud, you're probably going to be buried to your axles, and you're probably going to be already hooked onto a fifth wheel or a travel trailer. So you don't want just a little tow strap. I have a 4-inch wide. I said it was 65 foot long, but that's a guy measuring versus a woman. It's only 30 foot long. Honestly, it's that big. And the girl goes, it's that big. So 30 foot long, but it'll pull pretty much anything. And I got it at Tractor Supply. Prices have gone up. I think I paid $65 for it, and now it's like $75. Definitely, but it's not a big footprint to put in your...
No. The other one that's very important to have, they all tell you need fuses, but I would suggest a little tackle box full of electrical supplies too, because you never know if you're going to have to reroute or rewire some electrical.
Yeah, we have butt connectors, and we also have the screw-ons for just emergencies. But yeah, we do have a bag of fuses. We have both 15 and 20 amp. Those are the most common. But we also have the big one for the trailer constant wire. We have blown 3 of those in the last 2 years, because if the trailer's grounded, it'll blow your fuse in your truck, and that unfortunately is a problem. And you find out most of the time is when you get to your location and you go to move the jack down because you unhooked from your truck and the jack doesn't go down because your battery's dead.
Well, and to the fact, if you have a blowout, half the time you have a blowout, it's going to take out some electrical wires with it. So you like to have that little spare thing to go with it. In the case that we've seen the other day, the guy took off his whole back end.
Yeah, we'll
Had to
we'll post pictures
lighting
of that. I always say we're going to post pictures, and sometimes I don't, because we know what we said in the video. We don't always rewatch the video. So another thing that you should have in your truck is a bottle jack at minimum. Some guys carry full-on floor jacks. I don't really see the necessity in that. I think in the 2 years we have only used our bottle jack once, and that was on our own trailer when we blew a tire. But other than that, we could have used one in a yard when we switched out a tire, but I just used the jack from the truck to get under there. But a bottle jack, they're only $31 at Walmart.
Right.
For a 12-ton.
It's funny because it probably doesn't need to be said, but a lot of people do not have them. It's a flashlight. Now
we carry 2 flashlights.
And we got these really awesome ones now. We get them at Home Depot, and they are USB chargeable.
I forgot that there were USB chargeables, and I'm taking that thing apart, trying to change the batteries because it was dead, and I'm like, it's chargeable. And I didn't charge it.
Right. So no, but that's my job now.
Yeah, so you got to make sure it's charged. Another thing to have handy for just to have is I keep an assortment of Allen and Torx. It's just a little box of those, as well as sockets. Because if your trailer jack doesn't work with the electric, there's a little rubber thing on the top you could take off, and it could be an Allen, or it could be a 10 millimeter or something of that. Make sure you have an extension. But I carry a full socket set and the extension and a ratchet, because you can always just spin the nut.
Had to do that one a time or two.
We've had to do that a couple times, because you know what? You get to where you're going, and the jack worked when you put it on the truck, and now it's not working. So they're not going to send you back 2,000 miles, but it worked when you put it on the truck. Just remember that. Don't know what you're talking about.
Don't know what you're talking about, or how? Yeah. We've gotten there, and the wiring has been backwards. I mean, you name it, it's been there. So
right. I recommend they have the frame mount batteries. Everyone that has a frame mount battery will swear by the frame mount battery. We have the M24 series deep cycle battery. We swear by that one because it's gonna have the amps to do all the slides. A lot of those, if you only have a frame mount and you get a fifth wheel, a lot of people say they can't get their landing gears to go up and down because that little battery isn't strong enough, and that's just to get it on your truck and off your truck. And a lot of times plugging the 7-way into a fifth wheel, these new fully electronic and computerized fifth wheels, doesn't work. You have to have an external battery connected to the power source. And ask me how I know.
Sometimes you're lucky, and they might have a battery in that, but it also might be dead.
It might be dead. So you plug in the 7-way to charge it, and you're holding the up button. It goes, and it stops. So you got to stop, let it charge, and you hit the up button, a little more, a little more. It takes 30 minutes instead of 5 minutes.
Ask us how we know.
Lug sockets. We know that there are at least 2 to 3 different sizes of lug sockets on the trailer. The trailers don't come with spinner wrenches or lug sockets. We actually have a Ryobi impact gun. Yes, you can get a Milwaukee. You can get anything under the sun. We don't care about brand name. They pretty much all do the same thing. We're not loyalists to anything. If you prefer any other brand, but I would recommend having an impact gun that has at least 600 pounds turning off, and you don't need 400 pounds turning it on. You just got to get it to there and then use your torque wrench, because you should have required a torque wrench.
Yes, you should.
Right. What else do we have? Now, we carry in our truck, believe it or not, a telescoping ladder, and I'll put a picture on here. We just strap it to our our front toolbox, and we have had where we've seen stuff on our trailer and it's too high to reach, And before we take it into a dealer, we'll want to make sure. We've only had to use the ladder one time, but we overkill on what we should have above and beyond. It's kind of like that floor jack. Nobody has the ladder, but I think us. But I had to have go up there, and it was grease, but it looked like we hit something. And I'm like, what did we hit, or who hit us? And I went up there, and it was grease. But what I'm trying to say is, we saw it. The first thing we want to do is document it and get with our company before the dealership sees it and documents it. So at least we were the first to document it.
Correct.
So our claims department loves it when we notify them before the dealership.
Yeah, and it's a lot easier to tell that dealership when they say, oh, do you know about this? Yes, my claims department has already been notified.
Yep. Another thing, because we do TowAway and DriveAway, we actually have little two-way radios, just the cheapy Walmart ones. We talk on those all on our whole trip. We put the AA batteries in it. We don't do the recharge because we talk so much. Look at our time on our video.
I know.
How many? What do we have?
15 minutes.
All right, we're going to end this real quick. But the important thing of having those radios is if you're by yourself or anywhere, sometimes it's easier to give somebody a radio to back you up than to hopefully they know to stay within an eyesight in the mirror.
2 years later. Actually, 35 years later.
Yeah, Bunny's like, what's the problem? I keep waving you back. And my problem is my truck is turned this way, and you're over here, and I got a trailer blocking me. No, I'm not putting her on blast. But yeah, no, there are a lot of things that you should think above and beyond. I even carry a moving blanket, just a $6 Walmart moving blanket. I put it in my toolbox right over the top of everything. Because God forbid I have to crawl under my truck for any reason. I don't want to come out and put whatever was on the ground on my interior. So I would rather dirty that blanket.
Or, like I said, going through Southern California, through Arizona in the middle of summer, and you have to crawl underneath that truck and the asphalt's 150 degrees.
Right, but yeah, we just don't want to ruin our interior because I might have had to crawl through oil, or I didn't know oil was under there, and now it transfers from my shirt into the seat. So, yeah, I don't think of anything else that we've had to use. The Allen wrenches and the Torx and sockets, I have had to adjust Bunny's mirrors twice, and I had to have an Allen wrench. And what I have is the little hand one that's a little multi-tool, and that makes it easier because her mirror started flopping around, and I had to tighten it up.
Right, and after 2 years, we had to use it the other day, and after 2 years, we couldn't figure out how to open the box, and come to find out we hadn't even opened it yet.
Yeah, we hadn't even opened it. But I was prepared.
We were prepared, but at least we had it. Otherwise, that mirror, I don't know we might have lost that mirror. It was that loose.
Exactly. We also have a couple extra tie downs in our toolbox because we haven't cut to size. We tie down the front propane cover and the battery, as well as we lock the battery, so I'll post that picture here. But there are times if we have to put something in the bed of our truck. Now we have a roll down cover. My thing is I still tie it down even though I have a roll down cover, because if I get pulled in for an inspection and they want to see my triangles or my fire extinguishers, I gotta roll the cover up to show them my 2 fire extinguishers, and the last thing I want them to see is unsecured things in the bed of my truck.
Yes.
So I don't want any projectiles. So what?
No.
You're laughing about something.
No projectiles, because I'm driving behind you.
Right.
Or the trailer's attached to you. No projectiles.
So I will strap anything in there down, so that way if I have to expose my bed, they don't go, oh, how come that battery or that ice chest isn't strapped down? It's all strapped down and ready to go.
We're good to go.
So those are just some of the items you should have handy.
You got it.
Oh, one more thing. Well, because we're going on top of our head. is I have a 7-way tester, because if your blinkers aren't working or your taillights or something's not working on the trailer, and because these things come out of the manufacturer 30 a day at each plant, you want to make sure your truck works before you start getting into fuses and stuff. Because if your truck's flashers are working all the way through the 7-way, then there's no reason to even look at your truck. Now it's going to be a wiring issue. So I would recommend the 7-way
plug tester.
And we actually have that on our TowawayCouple.com. If you go to TowawayCouple.com, we have a lot of links for different things that we use. Some of them are stupid. Some of them are really, you probably should have. But you don't have to buy it off of our link. Our link is just Amazon links. That's all they are. You might find it cheaper somewhere else at Facebook Marketplace or anything, but we just linked it because a lot of people just click a link. Those little testers are $8. It's an easy purchase. They can mail it to your house. Dan's Hitch, I think they're $8 too, or $9 too, so you can pick one up there. They got a box of them. But yeah, definitely think about that.
Yep.
All
Anything
right.
else?
I don't think I have any other suggestions.
No.
Nope. So. All right.
All right. We'll see you down the road.
We'll see you down the road.